So would you consider raising the retirement?
I think everything's being considered, and will be considered.
And then you
so
need
back.
Congress to.
Yes. Yeah, they have to. It needs really to be the trustees, which are the four of us, myself, Treasury Secretary, Labor Secretary, HHS, the White House, which is completely committed to protect and preserve, and then Congress. And that's where the real work will happen, and that'll take a while.
I cannot believe he didn't reflexively deny that, dude. Jesus Christ. They really do not expect to need to run again.
But we have plenty.
I can't believe it.
So would you consider raising the retirement?
I think everything's being considered, and will be considered.
And then you.
Jesus Christ. We need to riot like the French. We won't. We won't. Why have the pretense of lying anymore? They've won forever. Don't be a pussy. Nothing's forever. The 1,000-year Reich lasted for, what, 12 years? 1,000 weeks. The government funding bill failed in the Senate. Yeah, between Social Security's insolvency, the debt crisis, and absolutely no bipartisan cooperation avoiding a shutdown. We'll have to see. The Senate voted Friday to block dueling Republican and Democratic proposals to keep the federal government funded on a short-term basis, raising the chance of a shutdown at the end of the month. The Republican plan, which passed by GOP-controlled House by a vote of 217 to 212 earlier Friday, fell short of the 60 votes needed to break a filibuster in the Senate. The vote was 44 to 48, with Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, the only Democrat to vote yes. Yippee! A competing Democratic plan also failed to clear the 60-vote threshold. Don't worry, Schumer will betray us again. Oh, I'm sure. Speaking of, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and other Democrats had vowed to defeat the current House GOP bill, which would have funded the government at current spending levels through November 21st. Republicans did not negotiate the bill with Democrats prior to its release. Yeah, the Republicans in Congress have been instructed to not speak with the Democrats. There's no bipartisan communication taking place. They've completely shut down these lines of contact. So the Republicans haven't even tried, like, quid pro quoing their way through getting some kind of Democrat support. The measure backed by Democrats in both chambers would have funded the government through October 31st, the series of policy add-ons. Honestly, the way things are going right now, a federal government shutdown is exactly what we need. Like, the federal government is an engine designed to maximize the amount of evil in the world. I don't know. Maybe a federal government shutdown will be the power cycling we're all looking for. Maybe it'll discombobulate just enough to. I don't know. We're kind of up against the wall here. Don't you think that would mean a full executive takeover? Well, the executive is also the federal government, so it'd be funny because then the National Guard wouldn't get paid. True. That is funny to think about. Would ICE get paid? No. Federal government. Yeah, Schumer and other Democrats noted that Trump has publicly called on Mike Johnson and John Thune to not sit down and negotiate with Democrats on the short-term funding bill. Donald Trump made it clear, don't even bother dealing with the Democrats, Schumer said, referencing an interview Trump gave to Fox News. Thune and Johnson listen to Trump. They are not that is the loudest plane in the universe. They are not independent actors. They don't represent an independent Congress, an independent House, or an independent Senate. And when Donald Trump says don't negotiate with Democrats, they don't and come up with 20 excuses. They're trying to 9/11 me. Remember when we thought it couldn't get worse 3 months ago? Don't be boring. Dems blocking is what we want them to do, right? I think it's probably good for the federal government to shut down because it would, like, right now, all the really bad shit is happening from the federal government. Anything that hampers the ability for, like, DHS or the AG, to act, probably good. People say that it would create a vacuum that the executive could use to power grab, but, like, hasn't he already? Like, what could the president do to grab more power? Congress is functionally irrelevant at this point. Like, what more? He's been legislating via auto pen. He's been legislating via executive order. What more could be done? But then the Dems have to blame the Republicans? Yeah. Any chance they suspend the filibuster over this? You guys see that the Republicans went big dick mode and suspended the rules that prevented them from appointing like 60 people all at once? That shit's crazy. Crazy how much power Republicans have and Democrats don't. Senate confirms 48 Trump nominees in a single vote after Republicans went nuclear to speed up confirmations. That's nice. Wait, you can just do things? Did the Dems know this? No, the Dems knew this. It's just like you have to be kind of like rude to do it. So the move by Senate Republicans comes after last week. They pushed through a change to Senate rules using the so-called nuclear option over the objection of Democrats. The rules change allowed nominees to be considered en bloc or as a group, as tensions have grown over the past few months between the two parties over the backlog of Trump nominees awaiting Senate confirmation. Nice. Cool. Meanwhile, Democrats, who years ago used the nuclear option to weaken the filibuster for nominees in the face of GOP intransigence, complain the GOP plan means unqualified nominees will escape scrutiny. Oh yeah, that's the problem with the Fourth Reich fast-tracking their appointments. That the not everyone will get the diligent scrutiny. Dude, every senator voted in favor of Marco Rubio, or like 99 senators. RFK Jr. got through, okay? That's clearly not what's happening here. It's always procedural bullshit. Did you see the Senate rejected the House bill to avoid a shutdown? Where'd you get that from? This stream 5 minutes ago? Doomed country, etc., etc. We'll see how it goes. Good night, y'all! Matt Drudge being on the right side of things has me crashing out. Yeah, isn't that funny? Vaccine panel postpones one vote and reverses another amid confusion. They have no idea what they're doing. Committee members delayed indefinitely a vote on hepatitis B vaccine for newborns because they didn't feel ready to make a decision. So they're just pressing buttons over here? Okay, gotcha. Nice. Nice. Hochul's key political ally weighs resignation after Mamdani endorsement. Oh yeah, I saw this, or I saw a bit of it. Was this that Zionist freak who's like, listen, I know vote blue no matter who and all, but I'm so opposed to Mamdani not being pro-genocide that I will literally leave my job to avoid supporting it? Which kind of implies that the New York State Democratic Party chair existed there, like, largely to secure the interests of Israel and capital, right? Like, if he's willing to throw his job away over this, that was what his job was. Preventing people like Mamdani from getting power. His statement was more anti-DSA than Zionist? Well, Democrats hating democracy, you know. Yeah, I'm glad the rot is like self-excising. Drain the swamp. The inter-party schism started forming Sunday when Hochul announced in an op-ed that she would back Mamdani's bid, a decision that led Jacobs to consider stepping down, according to 3 people familiar with this, thinking granted anonymity to discuss the situation. Wait. Familiar with his thinking. Oh, they struck out the T. On Thursday, Jacobs made their disagreement public with an announcement that he would not endorse the Democratic Socialist. Mr. Mamdani and I are in agreement that America's greatest problem is the continued growth in income disparity in our nation. On how to address it, we fundamentally disagree. I will not be endorsing Mr. Mamdani for mayor of the city of New York. I reject the platform of the so-called Democratic Socialists of America and do not believe it represents the principles, values, or policies of the Democratic Party. This is disqualifying. Like, it should be a 5-alarm fire. It should be considered an embarrassment that you could have a popular young populist candidate win as a Democrat in the New York primary, and then your state chair is like, nope, sorry, I don't accept this. What the fuck? Your job isn't to accept it, motherfucker. Your job, you're a bureaucrat. You actually are a bureaucrat. You're not a politician. Your job is just to make sure the money's flowing well. Your job is to run the organization. Your job isn't to weigh in or offer your opinion. Sit your white ass down. That's what I'm saying. Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer still haven't backed Mamdani. Of course they haven't, and they won't either. At least Schumer won't. At least we're getting more of a mandate from the people who matter. It's not like Schumer's approval carries much popular weight these days. Really hope New Dems keep pushing harder. We just don't have anyone at a national level, man. Not even like AOC or Ilhan Omar have the like public weight necessary to carry the party. Bernie Sanders isn't even a Democrat. Even if he was, he's just too old. His rhetoric's out of date. AOC has been pretty quiet lately. Yeah, I'm not really AOC pilled anymore. Read the top paragraph on screen. He called a black woman a member of the KKK. Jacobs' feud with the left has been a recurring theme throughout his tenure. In a similar situation in 2021, he declined to endorse socialist India Walton after she won Buffalo's Democratic primary, mayoral primary. He compared Walton, a black woman, to former Ku Klux Klan leader David Duke. Going sicko mode? Oh my God. Going internet debate mode? That's crazy. I would compare a black woman to David Duke if the sauce was right. I'd be willing to. Find me Candace Owens. I'm willing to make that call. Have you seen Candace Schizo posting about the Kirk shooter? Have you seen Candace Owens talk about anything at all in the past year? All she does is Schizo post. It's literally the only thing she does. Have you seen the new Democratic think tank? Well, it's always think tanks with Democrats, man. It's always consultant groups. It's never just like, what if we were popular and did things people like? What the fuck is this one? A new Democratic think tank wants to curb the influence of liberal groups. And wow, what a surprise. They look like shit. Led by a former aide to Harry Reid, the Searchlight Institute is hoping to persuade Democrats to play down causes like climate change and LGBTQ rights to appeal to more voters. Great, phenomenal. Polycule that spotted you from across the bar vibes. That's true. Who the fuck cares, man? It's such an indictment of the Democrats, though, that they keep forming groups like this. Like, people keep being fractured off the Democratic Party, these soulless grifters with terrible ideas, and forming their own little, like, here's how we fix the Democrats. Nobody's doing that shit with the Republicans, man, because the Republicans have a fucking agenda, you know? Like, there are splinter groups, but they're outwardly antagonistic towards the Republicans. They're borderline Democrats, like Lincoln Project or whatever, you know? The Republicans actually have political power and a coalition. The Democrats have a bunch of consultants in a trench coat. This is such an online opinion. The folks who are most to blame about Trump are the ones who push Democrats to take indefensible positions, Mr. Gentleson said in an interview Tuesday, citing a series of positions Kamala Harris took in 2019 before walking back many of them once she became Democratic presidential nominee in 2024. If you unironically believe that saying shit like defund the police 5 years ago was why Democrats lost last year, you're terminally online. Like, you're completely disconnected from the broader political environment. You're absolutely insane. You have no right to speak on any of these issues. You have no idea what you're talking about. I would go so far as to say it had zero impact. Reality has nothing to do with this. What Democrats said or didn't say, what did or didn't happen, most Americans think we're living in a crime spike right now. It does not matter. The only thing that matters is being the main character. Reality, truth, meaningless. You just have to have the energy and the direction and the vision to offer a compelling way forward for the American people. And Republicans do. They lie and their way forward is evil, but they do. And Democrats don't. And that's it. It's the only thing that matters. These people aren't going to end up being influential anyway. They're just fucking grifting for their consultant checks. It doesn't matter. How does one receive consultant checks? You're not going to get them. You already have to be on the inside, and you're not.